Yeah, BDG Boxing, we back, man. We back with another one. I'm gonna just get right to it, man. Why y'all ain't tell me Keith Thurman was like that, man? Y'all ain't tell me Keith one time Thurman was really like that, man. I tuned in to the press conference, right, for Sebastian Fundora versus Keith Thurman for the world 154-pound WBC title, right? And this guy's a real gift a gabber, right? He had a hard quotable, man, that I'm like, man, this is my favorite quote right now. Bro said, man, to say boxers are fearless, he said, man, all men have fear, but it's on you to bring it out of them. I'm like, man, that's that talk. That's what I like, man, because this is boxing at the end of the day. You feel me? Like, at the end of the day, all that talking, right? You got to go in the ring and fight, right? You got to go back it up. So I like it, man. He really talking that talk, man. So I tuned in, and I'm gonna be honest, right, man. This is my channel, right? I'm gonna be honest. I never saw a Keith Thurman fight before. I never saw a Keith Thurman fight. But I went back, right? I went back and did my homework. And I went on BoxRec, looked up his work, man, see what his record was, and I seen the names on there, so I tuned in, man, right on YouTube. Watched that Danny Garcia versus Keith Thurman fight, and the whole fight, no casual talk here, right? I watched the whole fight, no highlights, man. You got to get the real feel of the fight. I watched it all the way through, and I really think Danny Garcia won that fight. That's just my opinion. But Keith won. Then I seen some of the work on there. He seen the fight with Sean Porter all the way through, man. Shout out my Ohio boys, right? Sean Porter. And then I watched the Pacquiao fight, right, where he got dropped. So I think Keith Thurman is really like that, man. The record speaks for itself. He only lost to a legend. Everywhere else, he's never been stopped. He's one of those guys, man. So, on the flip side, I never was a fan of Sebastian either. So, I went and did my homework, right? So, Sebastian, man, I had to start off with the fight where he got stopped, right? So the Brian Mendoza fight, and the way Mendoza set him up for the punch that everybody thought he was gonna throw, he feinted off of it and threw the left hand hook. Like, it was beautiful, right? Caught him right on the chin. It was like all them overhand rights was missing on purpose type deal, like. And it was a great punch that dropped Fundora, stopped him, right? And then I seen Fundora get his belt back from Tim, right? I seen 1 and 2, and I'm gonna say this, man. This is what made me a real believer that, man, Keith might really pull this off, man, because Tim he was landing clean counters, man, really striking Fundora in that first fight, before he got cut, man. I feel like the cut really did change the fight. I watched it all the way through. Like, that beginning of that fight was real different. It was real different. But the second fight, right, he caught Fundora. They caught each other at the same time. Fundora he's strong. He ate his, right? He ate his. Tim didn't, dropped him, and then eventually stopped him. So I think, over the course of those fights, right, Fundora did get better. But I think, Keith one time, I don't know, man, the way he talking, man, I think Keith might do it. And I think the deciding factor, right, is going to be IQ, right? Now, like I said, Fundora did get better from, when he got stopped, right? You can gradually see he didn't respect Mendoza in there at all. He had a game plan, jab him, pressure him, and then, Mendoza had a nice counter, man, took his belt. And then, when he fought Tim, it was a different guy both times, right? Stronger chin. He got caught, but his landed too, and he was able to drop his guy. So Fundora, then Cordell Booker, beating on him. So I feel like he did get better over the course. I think to beat Keith Thurman, we're gonna have to see a Fundora we never seen, and Keith orthodox, right? Style, you know what I mean? Just on the move, his footwork, dancing with Fundora, being on the end of that spear, you know what I mean, is going to be that deciding factor, man, along with the IQ. I got Keith with the upset, man. I'm hoping Keith isn't food. I'm hoping Keith's not food, and they're feeding him, to Sebastian, man, because they're saying he's number one. I don't believe that. Boost and Xander look like they agree, so we'll see after that fight. Then we'll know for sure who's number one at 154. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you guys think, man. I got Keith Thurman winning this one.